So though they know not what they do. Yon. Ay. Ah, awesome guys. We're live in. Perfect. Hey, what's up guys? Check natin live stream natin. So though they know not what they do. Wow. Live tayo guys in 3 different platforms. Check out YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. Di tayo sa malayo. Bagal talaga mag-loading pag unang login. So they know not what they do.
Into the wind.
I got careless.
Hindi pa pala yun. Ay, ano to? I got Carlos. Hello po sa 200,000 million viewers all around the world. Ay, wait nga. Pwede pa ba i-edit to? Wait lang guys, nest. Copy video URL.
A word of advice, don't break the law. Is there
Anything
anything
else?
else? Yeah, seriously, don't break the law.
Edit post. Ayun na, na-edit na natin guys. So they know not what they do.
One with nature.
Way now.
Di ba pala yun?
Into the wind.
Sapul ka. Oh. Oh.
By royal decree.
Oo, sintado yan. Nice, Oz. Oh. May bago palang quest dito. Hindi, isa pala. Sila pala yun. Akala ko bagong quest. Naka Dark Iron Sword siya, oh. Si ate rin ba? Ang ano? Ako yari. Pahirap kayong dalawang magjowa kayo, ah. Lo.
I'm going in! Let's light it up! Huh?
Give me some space, girl.
Huh?
Where are we going? What's the plan?
Ano, mag-asawa kayo? Ay, nag-aaway kayo?
There you are.
A moment, please.
Kulit niya.
Let me amuse myself. Look at me. Just...
Stay cool. Face your guilt.
Nabuhay pa isa.
One with nature.
Going easy on me.
Kalayo ah.
Add. Add as. Thank you for.
Ano ba yung paggagamitin yung ano? Ito. Ay, dito pala yun. Mura na lang talaga. Gano kaya to? May side quests pa eh, oh. Tapusin natin si Cloud Retainer. Oh my gosh.
It is just as one expected. The owner of Wanmin Restaurant is indeed a most reasonable. Still, the work here entails dealing with quite a varied group of people. Has this been difficult for you, Shenhe?
Shenhe?
It's been manageable so far. I sometimes run into strange people, but I have figured out a way to deal with them.
Seems like you've been making progress. So by dealing with them, you mean...
First, I try to talk sense into them. If that doesn't work, I threaten them with violence. At this point, they usually decide they are in favor of a civil conversation.
Oh, how should Paimon put...
Oh, a sensible plan. One is gladdened to see you integrate so well into human society.
And you, Master? How have you been?
Simply marvelous. Though Mount Outsong has scarcely enjoyed your presence
Mount
recently,
Outsong.
one has hardly found the pleasure of one's own company to be lacking.
I see. Oh, just... I have missed Master quite a bit too. Even though work has been busy lately, I've already had a conversation with Chef Mao about taking some time off soon to visit Master.
Oh, you did? Do make note of such matters in your letters in the future. There's hardly a need to keep one in suspense.
Whoa, her mood shot up just like that.
By the way, Master, since you are in Liyue Harbor, have you had the chance to visit Gan?
Indeed. She is similarly preoccupied with her work. There was time only to exchange a few simple pleasantries.
Ganyu told us the story of Cloud Retainer's name. It was amazing. We never knew how powerful she was before.
I see. In that case, allow me to also...
Oh?
Is that a problem, Master? I believe this to be a good topic of conversation.
No, not a problem. One was simply caught off guard. But no matter. Please, proceed. One is most curious to see how much of one's own conversational prowess you
Master once participated in a race against Mooncarver. After Mooncarver lost, he insisted that Master's ability to fly gave her a natural... In response, Master agreed to forego flying in return for being able to use one of her devices in the race. Mooncarver accepted, only to find Master with a brand new device on the day of the contest.
Huh. What kind of
It was a mechanical vehicle made out of iron. What was it called again?
Oh, you refer to the bicyclical Thunder Flashmobile. One spent 49 days conceptualizing and crafting it. It need only be infused with adeptal energy, and it can cover thousands of miles in one day. Oh, it boggles the mind why Mooncarver ever supposed he might best me in a contest of locomotion. Though he sprinted with all his might, he could barely keep up. Alas, the one flaw of my mechanism lay in its weakness against mountainous terrain. One was thwarted mere seconds from victory, when it was thrown off course and failed to make it across the final stretch. Truly a most unfortunate turn of events. Anyway,
Master, that was the end of that story.
Siya na
is
nagkwento.
that so? With you gone, one has seldom felt the desire to call upon those old fossils for another contest. What is a
Have you been lonely, Master?
lonely? Huh. At one's age, entire human generations come and go in the blink of an eye. Even one's own self-directed musings can span several days and nights. 'Tis a most foreign sentiment. The mere mention of it is preposterous. What is the reason for that look upon you?
Nothing. It's just... Well, Paimon gained a lot of respect for you after listening to that story of you summoning the rain and everything. But all it took was a few words out of your mouth, and it's like you're back to being that illuminated bird. I was just a little bit confused. Which one of the two is the real...
To me, they are both master. One is the master that's widely revered by the people, while the other is the master that I...
One finds oneself exalted yet again with sweet words of praise and flattery of a most extravagant nature. You chose to exalt one with your words, yet you refuse to grace Mount Outsong with your presence for any extended period of time. One would almost question this. This is not to say that your words paint an inaccurate picture. One has always lived by a single ideal. Eschew all action and abide by no rule. One does as one pleases and speaks as one pleases. Others may critique or praise as they see fit. Yet one places little weight in such judgments.
She got like, what, 2 sentences of flattery from her disciple? And it's as if her ego was about to burst.
Do you have any empty tables?
Hey there, could we get another fish stew?
I'm hearing more guests come in. I should get back to work.
All right, good luck with the lunchtime Russian.
I'll try...
So much yummy food! Paimon's gonna feast!
One is fond of all kinds of delicacies and delights in a multitude of flavors. The dishes here demonstrate no shortage of culinary skill. Their unique flavor profile has left one more than satisfied. In fact, one has been struck by quite the fit of inspiration. One has already begun to conceptualize...
Everything's so tasty! A bit too hot at times, but still soup.
I'm sorry, miss, but our tables are full.
Shall we try somewhere else, Granny?
But it smells so delightful. Can we really?
Well, you could always check with some of the other guests and see if anyone's happy.
Okay, I'll ask her. Excuse me. Would you mind letting us share a table with you? There are no empty tables left. Well, Paimon doesn't mind. What about you guys? Great. Thanks so much. My name is Shuyu, and this is my granny, Yuendai.
Yuanday.
Granny? Yep. Is there something wrong with that? No. Paimon's just a bit surprised. Yeah. A lot of people compliment Granny on her youthful looks, but she's actually much older than she...
Ay, magkakilala sila.
Granny? Why don't you take a seat? Come on, it's not polite to stare.
Oh, have we met before?
No.
Weh.
Tis a fated meeting then. Please, take a seat.
What would you like to eat, Granny? I can order...
I want braised earthworms. They always pop up out of the ground after a rain.
No, not this again. Granny, there's no... Braised earthworms? Well, that sounds weird. Do people actually eat... Right, that's what Paimon was... Need any help? Help? Oh, do you mean with Granny? Thanks, that's nice of you to offer. Granny has pretty bad dementia, so her memory's getting worse all the time. She's always saying things that sound kind of confused. Actually, her memory's been bad ever since I was little. But it's gotten so bad lately that I even have to remind her who I am every morning. They died young. It's... Oh. But it's okay. Don't feel bad. Granny loves me a lot, and I love her a lot too. Sure, it's hard at times, but you just gotta make the best of the life you've got. Wow. You're really tough for your... You're too kind.
And me? Oh, what about...
You're tough too, Granny. Plus, you're really gentle, and you're always there for me.
Yes, and it's hardly as if I forget everything. I still remember the important things.
Parang si Chichi to.
Wait. I remember now. It was a dream. I had a dream where everything was dark. Someone was standing in front of me.
Huh? That sounds super important.
But it was just a dream, so I forgot about it. But I'm in a good mood now. You know, I believe I've had this dream a great many times. But
wait, so you have a reoccurring dream where someone's talking to you? That sounds spooky. Does that mean you're possessed?
Unlikely. Her eyes are clear and her breathing remains calm and level. One sees no signs of possession.
Are you sure?
Who do you take me for? Is one not an adept? Am I not an expert?
You're right. Paimon almost forgot you're the expert. In that case, do you still remember what the person in your dreams looked like?
not anymore. Although, I have a sense that she looked rather like me.
A younger version? This is just getting weirder and weirder. What is going on here?
As one said, fate must have brought us together. You may leave the situation to me.
Are you
What?
sure?
Paimon's Paimon.
Just Shenyun is fine.
Thank you all so much for offering to help. But first, I'm sorry for asking, but, how do you want us to...
Oh, we don't need any payment for this. You're welcome. But Miss Shenyun, what exactly can we do to help out this? All we have to go off is that dream.
That is elementary. Since her dreams portray her younger self, then we shall retrace the steps of her youth. Once we have revisited those places, her memories will likely return.
Sounds like a plan. So, Granny...
Why, of course I do. The heavens
What?
above, the earth below.
Okay, that is it.
Once, when I was really little, my dad told me that Granny used to be a martial artist heroine who saved loads of people from a disaster. If it's true, then maybe they wrote about it in the history books or something.
A martial arts heroine? Oh, Shinto knows tons about Liyue's chivalric traditions. If anyone knows about the heroes of the past, it's...
Are you leaving already? But I'm still hungry.
I'll go order some food, Granny. If there's nothing on the menu you especially want, I'll just get a few different...
It seems we must part ways for now. The Traveler and Paimon are bound for the Feiyun Commerce Guild, while Yuendai and Shuyu shall remain here and partake of their lunch. As for myself, I have matters to discuss with Streetward Rambler.
Streetward Rambler, sino nga ba yun? Si Madam Ping.
Precisely. Let us meet at Yujing Terrace once you are ready.
This price, the food is unbelievable.
To your heart's content. Today is my treat.
Where are you going, Granny?
Fresh milk. But
Milk? What?
you need to drink milk before eating, or the spicy food will make you cry.
Granny, you're forgetting things again. I'm not a little baby anymore. I can eat spicy food now. Even the super spicy...
Wonderful. How wonderful.
May dementia niya siya. How wonderful. Lo, dyan agad Shinchu ah. Ilong. Hi.
It's you two. What brings you here?
Shincho! Great, we found you! We wanted to ask you...
That's not a whole lot of information to go off of. I don't know if I can say for sure. I can't pinpoint her identity from your description alone. But considering her age, I am reminded of...
Nameless hair?
That's right. The novels often speak of a great drought from 50 years ago. As the people suffered, a nameless heroine appeared and began to clear away evil spirits and bandit camps. The people idolized her, but never learned her. All they knew was that she always acted alone. Later, though, she supposedly fell in love with a similarly noble-minded exorcist from Mount Tianheng. They were well matched in more ways than one, often fighting together as a fearsome duo of other world. After the drought ended, the heroine and the exorcist left the public eye and began living a reclusive life in the mountains. All that remained were tales of her. The way this nameless heroine faded from fame into obscurity later in life is not too dissimilar from Miss Yuendai.
Thanks a lot, Shinto. We knew it'd be worth it.
It's nothing at all. Just something I came across while reading. I did do a bit of extra research on her story, but it was just out of personal...
Well, Paimon still thinks that's super cool. Oh, wait. Shinto, if you've read up on her, do you know of any places off...
Let me think. In the novels, the nameless heroine always appeared near one of 3 places. Wangshu Inn, the area just north of Juyun Karst, and Jing. Perhaps the real-life heroine who inspired the character was also often seen near those 3 places. You're welcome. To be honest, I found some parts of the story confusing when I first came across it. If Miss Yuendai was indeed the original inspiration for the character, she may just be able to help me. It's rare for a chivalric hero to fade into obscurity during their lifetime, even after retiring from the public eye. But no one ever saw or heard from the nameless heroine again. I've never understood why someone would go to such lengths to erase themselves from public memory. It's almost as if she was trying to hide from something.
We'll be sure to tell you if we manage to uncover...
That's a deal. Perhaps, behind the truth of it all, there lies a story more fantastical...
Paimon feels like we just learned so much from Shincho. A drought, a nameless heroine, a life of seclusion. Wait, why does the story sound super familiar?
Same sila ni ano. Shen Yun.
Right! There's a drought in this story too! Shincho, are droughts super common in Liyue's?
Well, they used to be. But people have long since developed methods to prevent them. Like by cultivating the soil or digging So while droughts do happen from time to time, they are rarely regarded as true disasters. The drought 50 years ago is probably one of the worst we've had in the last several... The crops withered, the streams ran dry, and the monsters in the mountains became rabid and agitated. Countless caravans were attacked, and people who lost their homes came together to form bandit groups. What started as a natural disaster...
That sounds awful.
Yeah, and that's exactly why the nameless heroine was so beloved. She must have been someone of true integrity to do so. Still, as terrible as that drought was, it was nothing compared to the truly calamitous disasters that befell this land. They say that back in those days, disasters were both more severe and more common. Only the strongest of Adepti could hope to dispel the ruin. Do you have any other questions?
We're good for now. We're just going to head back and meet up with Miss Xianyun. Paimon hopes that Granny Yuendai will be able to remember more of her past. She used to be a great hero who saved many people. So sad that she can't recall any of it. Anyway, we'll be off now. See you some other time, Shincho. Thank you so much for your help.
OMG.
It's no problem at all. Safe travels.
May fireworks na doon. Oh, ang ganda na ng lantern, right? May fireworks na day.
I have recorded the tune that you requested. I hope it will be of help to you.
Oh, thank you. Straight word, but Ping, what has amused you so?
Oh, it's no serious matter. I was just reminiscing about the last time I saw you in this form. Time has wrought such change in this world, and yet you...
Time has little bearing on one's existence, nor has one keenly felt its effects whilst dwelling at Mount Outsong. Nevertheless, Ping, one would like to seek your counsel on a
Oh, why so formal all of a sudden? I must say, you're making me...
Well, the inquiry is as such. Approximately how much more would one need to afford a comfortable life in the harbor? Not unlike the one that you yourself lead.
It does not require as much as you may think. Still, do you mean that...
Cloud Retainer, Madam Ping! What are you two talking about?
Yan naman to sila, no? Wrong timing
Nothing
naman,
save
no?
for some trivial matters. Have you unearthed any useful...
Shinjo has a theory, but let's save it for when Chuyu and Miss Yundai have joined.
Yandai.
Do not be troubled, young lady.
Thank you so much.
What do you think, Chuyu? Does it match up with what you know of your granny?
According to the story, the nameless heroine eventually fell in love with an exorcist from Mount Tianheng. Maybe I don't have many memories of him, but there is this one time
Hello,
I found a
sir.
box in an attic full of a
Glenn
bunch of
Eunice.
weird sigils.
Rico. Wait. Seems like the stars were on the right track.
I think so too.
Kawawang
Granny
moon
might
carver
remember
at
something
Mountain
when she's
Shaper.
returned to a
Dinog
familiar
showed ang
place.
human form sa Lantern Night. Di lang naman pinag-isipan. Kaya nga, sikat ngayon yan sa social media yun. Ang daming, ang tawag doon, disappointed. Pero kasi, may chance pa naman yung Genshin na ayusin yan. Tingnan mo si Madam Ping, yung model ni Madam Ping, very generic. Pero meron talaga siyang totoong form, di ba? Pwede naman, kasi yung mga Adeptoy naman, alam naman nila sa lore na pwede silang kumuha ng kung ano-anong form eh. Baka this Lantern Rite, ayun lang yung trip nilang kunin, and then eventually, magkaroon sila ng totoong form na playable. Kaya hindi rin ako masyadong disappointed.
What marvelous tea. I can taste the dew's sweetness in this cup. It's as if I was taking a stroll in the mountains, thoroughly one with nature and at peace.
Is that so? Then please drink as much as you like. There's no need to hurry. At our age, it's always nice to slow down and take the time to appreciate pleasant conversation among friends.
Wow. Nagmukha silang apprentice ni Cloud Retainer, kaya nga very generic yung itsura nila. Pero sana talaga may chance pa yung Genshin.
Thank you.
Gawin silang playable.
Okay, since we have the time, can I ask you something?
Sure thing. What would you like to know?
I have a secret I want to tell you. Let's go talk over...
Secret?
What's wrong, Shui?
Well, I've been kind of meaning to ask ever since we started talking in the restaurant, but...
Uy!
Are you guys all Adepti in disguise?
Busted.
Oh! About that.
Well, you guys just seem super special. Plus, I think I might have heard Miss Shen Yu...
Must have been a slip of the tongue. Shen Yun, since you were the one who, misspoke, maybe you can explain?
One is indeed an adeptus. Is that of some concern?
I knew it. Well, one time when I was a little kid, I saw a pure white illuminated crate.
Uy, siya yun
I had this super high fever, and Granny wasn't around. I was feeling all icky and gross. But then this snowy white, she put me on her back and flew me to her cool Adeptus house and fed me some sort of magic potion. When I woke up, I really wanted to thank her, but I was too sleepy to stay awake, so I never got the chance. So I just kind of wanted to ask if maybe any of you have ever met an Adeptus like that?
A pure
Siya
white
yun eh.
illuminated crane? The only two we've ever met are blue and white and black and brown.
Blue and white. Siya nga yun. Blue. Ay,
Have
hindi
you
siya
ever
yun?
met one that's pure white, Cloud Retainer?
Never has one met an Adeptus with such features.
Ah, yung lola
One
niya yun.
surmises such a description is but a hyperbolic embellishment that oft results from narrative.
That's weird. Was it really just a dream then? Well, even if it was just in my head, it doesn't matter that much anyway.
Oh, Adeptus yung lola niya.
Memories.
Leave it to us! Now that we know the 3 locations, we just need to visit them one by one. Let's go to Wangshu Inn first.
Okay, I'll go.
Ganda ng music. Dito nga muna tayo.
If you ever see any stickers on my back, do me a favor and take them off. Malazines like to play pranks sometimes.
Ganda, angas ah. Let's go to the Wangshu Inn.
Wangshu Inn.
Do you remember this place, Granny?
Yes. The fish here is very delicious. And if you look out into the distance, you can always spot a bird that's been left behind. I believe I used to have a room here. It had a window. Yes, I spent a lot.
I'll come with.
Paimon's still having some trouble understanding what she's talking about, but if she's so familiar with this place, that must mean she lived. Whoa! What are you doing here all of a sudden? You scared the living daylights out of Paimon!
Bigla-bigla sumusulpot eh.
I sensed a non-human presence and decided to come take a
Oh,
look.
sabi na nga ba, Adeptus yung lola niya eh. Gusto kong lantern right yung naghanap ng parts ng Jade Chamber before. Ah, yung first na inintroduce ba yun si Shan, ha? Tama ba?
If you're here, then there's likely no trouble afoot. I suppose there's no cause for concern. It's been a while, Cloud Retainer. I see you have returned to your previous form. I have indeed. I fought alongside her in this form on many occasions during the Archon.
Oh, wow! What was she like during the war? Oh, wait, let Paimon take a guess. Was it anything like this?
Behold, the glory of one's newest invention, the Bang Bang continuous fire mechanism. Hands up and surrender, or be prepared to face...
An impressive imitation.
Paimon knows her all too well.
Even so, Cloud Retainer was not always as ostentatious as you describe. You may be unaware, but her talent with Adepti sigils is just as formidable as her skill in mechanics. The Archon War reached its peak after Guizhong's death. The Cloud Retainer who fought beside me in those devastating battles was taciturn and solemn, only speaking when she had to activate her sigils.
A Cloud Retainer who barely talks? Paimon can't picture it. But what happened after that? If you were so powerful in your human form, why did you decide to take...
Once one had bid farewell to the world of mortals, what use would one still have for such a shape? When dwelling between mountain and forest, away from the struggles and troubles of the mortal world, a mortal form is hardly the most fitting of choices.
After the war, Cloud Retainer retired to Mount Outsong, only revealing herself to the occasional visitor, and always in her avian form. Although I
Avian
do
form.
believe there was an occasion some 30-odd years ago when she decided to don her human form. I believe it was for the purpose of...
One believes there is little need to relive bygone matters.
Granny, are you okay?
Back then,
Perhaps this conversation should end here. I shall take my leave now. Should
Shing.
you encounter any trouble, you need only call my name. However, given that you are traveling with Cloud...
Everyone! I think Granny is finally beginning to remember.
Slowly now, calm your mind and recount what has been recalled.
a long time ago, I stayed here to recuperate from my illness.
Huh. So what Shinto said was true! You did fall ill! Was that why you went into hiding?
I don't remember. I'm very sorry, but I can't even remember the name of my illness. The only thing I can remember is that it took I was confined to my room in Wangshu Inn, where I spent many days unconscious. I'd come to every once in a while and stare at the migrating birds outside the window. It was a solemn sight. I remember one day I met a traveling merchant. Upon hearing of my illness, he sold me a bottle of soul-revitalizing tea pills.
Sino yan?
He told me that the pills were concocted using Adepti blood and could be used to alleviate my symptoms. Sure enough, I made a full recovery. My illness remained dormant for several...
Wait, but if your illness remained dormant for several decades, are you saying that what you're going through now is just a relapse of what happened all those years ago? And it was all thanks to the pills that you managed to keep the symptoms in check?
I'm sorry, I don't. Oh,
Hey, you're not useless. You've done so much for me. Watch me grow up. Raise...
oh, fret not, dear child. Granny was just a...
The recovery of a person's memories is a gradual process. Finding pieces of one's past is always superior to not finding anything at all. Let us...
Next location. There isn't really a landmark there, so where should we start? Oh, after all, if she was there for any length of time, then she would have stayed somewhere, right? Oh, Paimon's really got her thinking cap on today. At this rate, we'll recover...
Dami ah. Yan o, Cloud Retainer oh. Aba?
Whoa, why are there so many treasure hoarders here? Guess it's time to round up the bad guys.
The hunter becomes...
Do you remember anything about this place, Granny?
Let me think. I feel like I've been here before, but I don't think I stayed here too long.
Got it. That's okay. There are still...
Wait a second. If I remember correctly, I believe I brought... yes, I brought some sweet snacks with me. Go on, take some. You need to eat a lot if you want to grow big and strong.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Then Paimon will help herself.
Okay. We'll go there next.
Paimon sees an abandoned house. Why don't we take a break over there?
This place.
Huh?
Did you remember something, Granny?
I remember. Shuyu. This. It was a moonless night. I had been injured, so your grandpa was supporting me. We fled together with some being in the fog behind us in hot pursuit.
What's that?
I had exhausted my strength when the labor pains came on, so we took refuge in this house. Your grandpa set up a barrier outside, but I remember that night. I remember falling to my knees. I alone am the source of this sin. Punish me as you wish for forsaking my oath.
Sin? Oath? Did you do something wrong?
I don't know. I don't remember. I only remember praying in the darkness with all my strength until the sun finally rose again. Eventually, the house was filled with the sound of my baby's first cries. That baby was
Babies?
your father.
Hi.
I remember I clutched him tight to my chest and wept tears of joy.
My dad?
He was my pride and joy, and so are you, Shuyu. You're so much like him, and I love you both, but you're always going to be different from me. Why? Just what did...
I don't care what you might have done, Granny. You'll always be the person I love more than any.
You're too sweet, Shuyu. I'm lucky to have you with me. If not... All right. Let's not stand around any longer.
If one recalls correctly, the next place should be Qingyu Peak. Yuandai, how fares your health?
I may be a bit slow, but I'll do my best to keep up. I'm sorry to keep everyone waiting.
Climb on. I shall carry you to the top.
Uy.
Oh,
Naal.
such lightness of weight.
All those who grow old grow frail in the end, do they not? First, you lose your memory, then your health. Eventually, you end up losing everything. My only wish is to depart this world with a lucid mind, to free myself of this torment and the burden it places upon others.
Fret not. You have my aid in this endeavor.
Bait ni Cloud Retainer ah. Taas naman yan. Sa taas pala yung teleporter at doon tayo nagpunta eh.
we're finally here. Does this place feel familiar to you, Granny Wenda?
Let me see. How strange. Have I lived here? When we were at Wangshu Inn and the abandoned house earlier, though I couldn't remember everything, I still felt a sense of familiarity. I could easily picture myself in those places. But here, I don't have that feeling. Perhaps I did come here in the past, but it just didn't leave a strong...
But did the stories get it wrong then? Yeah, that's true. But they're also... Paimon was hoping this place would jog Granny Wendai's memory, just like...
I'm sorry to disappoint you.
It's all right. We're not going to give up yet. We'll figure something out.
Thank you. Huh? That way. What's that mountain?
Hoy, dyan si Cloud Retainer.
Oh, let Paimon look! Huh? Isn't that Mount Outsang? Looks like we've come full circle.
Mount Outsang. Mount Outsang.
Granny, are you okay? Don't push yourself, Granny. It's okay if you can't remember. You shouldn't do something.
Mount Outsang,
Mount Outsang holds some familiarity to you?
It does, but I can't go back.
Are you feeling unwell?
My head, it feels all heavy and
Cloud... Miss Xianyun, is there anything you can do?
Let us go to Mount Outsang.
But...
Oh.
Fret not, all will be well. You and I, you have already given more than enough to the pursuit of this endeavor. You may leave the rest to me. I've prepared something that can aid you in suppressing the fear in your heart and restoring your lost memories.
Wait, really? When did you do that?
I never leave anything to chance. All will reveal itself when we arrive.
Oh, kilala niya. Alam na niya. Mount Outsang.
Come on, just tell Paimon already! What's this thing you've
Here, this is it.
Huh? But isn't this the mechanism that you were tinkering with when we first got here?
Precisely. A recent one at that. I am most pleased with the result. I call it the suspensus somnium mechanism. It periodically releases a soft breeze, which when paired with a gentle adeptal tune, can help the listener subconsciously relax and even enter a semi-hypnotic state. Soothing agitation and anxiety, relieving exhaustion and insomnia, its potential uses are numerous indeed. And of course, it can also aid in the recovery of lost memories.
Whoa, what a cool gadget! But if you had it all along, we could have come to Mount Outsang right off the bat and saved Paimon without a float!
How preposterous. Had you and I not recalled much of her past through her own efforts, the device would have... We Adepti can only help those who first resolve to help themselves. Had she lacked such determination and strength of character, one would have little to offer in way of...
Paimon thinks she gets it now.
As previously mentioned, a gentle adeptal tune is required to take full advantage of the mechanism. One
Ay, kinuha niya kay
secured such a
Madam
tune
Ping.
from Streetward Rambler. Only with her melodies can the mechanism reach its peak power.
Whoa, Paimon can feel what you mean. Paimon's body feels light as a feather. It's as if she's lying down on a warm patch.
And you and I. It appears she has already succumbed to the depths of reverie. Come, join one on this side. We shall give her some time to...
Yung ano niya, oh. Kakaiba yung hairpin niya.
The drought is over. But why do you look like you want to cry?
The potion. It's nearly run its course.
I've never regretted meeting you. Not even for a second.
Oh.
Please. Please, no. Have you forgotten? This is the world you left behind. One of gentle breeze and morning dew, perfectly straddled betwixt the realms of heaven and earth. This is your home. This is where you belong. You should have never left. The you of the past, the me from not that long ago. We should have never. So that is the truth. No wonder this place is so familiar.
Granny! Granny, are you
Cloud Retainer.
Boom.
Your memories have returned.
Wait, did you just call her by her full name? Does that mean you already knew each other?
Yes. I now remember everything. Everything.
Granny, please don't cry.
Oh, don't worry, my dear child. I'm so sorry, everyone. You've gone to so much trouble on my behalf. It's all come back to me now. The most important thing.
One can sense the guilt that now plagues your conscience. Reclaiming a truth long buried is sure to come with a myriad of complex emotions. Perhaps one should recount the...
No, it's okay. Now that I've remembered... Shuyu, everyone, I cannot thank you and...
Please, Granny, don't force yourself. What happened in the past doesn't matter.
I know, dear child. My feelings for you are exactly the same. It is for this reason that some time ago, I made a terrible mistake. One for which I could never...
Is this the sin that you mentioned in Joyun Karst?
I am, in truth, not a human being. My real form, one that I held for centuries, was I spent many, many years living on Mount Outsong, bathing in the soft breeze and drinking the sweet dew of the mountains. At some point, I somehow gained wisdom and sentience. The Lord of the Mountain, Cloud Retainer, became aware of my existence and began to share many stories with me. She even passed, though she never took me on as a formal disciple. I always saw her as my master. Whenever she took out her tools to work on mechanisms or new inventions, I would also stand next to her and watch. I even contemplated completing my training and becoming an adeptus in my own right. I followed her teachings, and time gradually passed us by.
50 years ago?
That's right. Master regaled me with many stories of her past deeds. From them, I learned how she had saved people from a similar crisis in the... She was the one I looked up to the most. More than anything, I dreamt of becoming an adeptus like her. I wanted to travel the land like she had, but I was still far from being a real adeptus. I possessed no ability to take on human form and fit in with the crowd. Once she learned of my desires, Master prepared a special... She warned me that the potion's effects would only last 10 years, and if I were to fail to return to my original form at the end of that time, I would forever forget my past as a crane and become
Oh no. So that was the source of your dementia all along?
Was it because of...
Indeed, I fell in love. Though he was human, he had spent his entire life training on Mount Tianheng. When we met, it was not only my first foray into the world below, but his as... Although clumsy and impulsive as he was, you'd think he was the real strange bird among the two of us. But still, just like me, He cared deeply about the world and wanted, more than anything, I could not help but fall for him. But my time continued to tick away. Those 10 years passed by in a flash.
Oh no. What?
I committed an offense. I wanted to stay with him, even if it meant living a life full of pain and suffering, even if it meant that I would eventually turn into a monstrosity. I knew I had betrayed Master's hopes, but I was too ashamed to face her. So I wrote her a long letter instead and asked someone to leave it outside her. I was convinced that she would not support my decision, and I lacked the courage to speak to her face to face. In my shame, I fled and tried to hide from the world, such that no one would be able to find me again. But that was only the beginning of my troubles. I began to suffer from a strange illness. My memories became hazy and confused, and I could no longer keep myself awake. I understood that my pain was caused by my refusal to return to the life I was fated to lead. Along with my memories as a crane, I soon forgot the true cause of my suffering as well. I knew only that I had committed a sin. All I could do was pray for forgiveness, even if I had long forgotten what needed to be forgiven. Looking back, I was beyond lucky to have come across that traveling merchant at Wangshu Inn. It was such a
Sino
fortunate
kaya yun?
coincidence that we were there at the same time. If it weren't for those soul
Siya yun?
Granny! What's...
Coincidence? Why did I ever think it was a coincidence? Tea pills concocted using the blood of an adeptus? Master, don't tell me.
Human custom would dictate the conferral of gifts to be in order when one's progeny is wedded, would it not? Consider the pills a symbol of one's best wishes.
So when I tried to conceal my name and mistakes from the world and hide myself away in
Best
perpetuity,
wishes.
the only person I managed to deceive was myself.
One still remembers when you were but a fledgling. You possessed a certain fondness for a particular game. You would hide yourself among a group of wild cranes and ask one to pick you out from among the flock. One found you with such ease every time. 'Tis a truth most evident. One always recognizes one's own. No matter.
Wait! My mind's confused. So, Cloud Retainer, you found you and I again? But how? When? And what happened after?
Perhaps it is now time for one to recount the rest of the tale.
Tagal pa pala ng loading. Ay, na-record ko to.
One was furious upon receiving your letter. Seized with anger, one set out to bring you to your senses.
Skyward!
Saan to?
In truth, one had more than a few misgivings about your chosen partner. As an exorcist, his talent was lacking. One could hardly say his skill with sigils, but soon one came to appreciate the devotion he bestowed upon you during your illness. He never uttered a complaint, and rarely unwilling to begrudge someone of such character. One decided to overlook his aforementioned deficiencies, wishing to grant you a life without regrets. One gathered many divine ingredients and used one's own blood to create a form of medicine. Though imperfect, it managed to suppress the... As for how to deliver the medicine, after much contemplation, one eventually decided to perform the deed oneself. One took great care to alter one's features and select the appropriate attire. Only after meticulous scrutiny did one finally... As one expected, you were most ignorant of one's true identity. You showed not even the One was quite torn. Should one have celebrated the success of one's disguise, or mourn the loss of your acquaintance?
Bawal pala gamitin mid-air. Galing.
Skyward! Scatter!
Oh? C3, sorry.
Skyward! Scatter! Skyward! Scatter! Skyward! Nevertheless, one would speak to you about another matter, if you are amenable. Even considering your loss of memory, one was simply flabbergasted that you could so easily forget the consequences of consuming medicine infused with adeptal blood. Its proclivity to attract monsters is hardly that complicated of a concept to remember. To think that you tried to travel while weak from sickness and heavy with child. Had one not intervened to clear the fog, all of you would have been lost during the night.
Pinoprotektahan niya pala.
Skyward! Skyward! Scatter! Stray clouds converge! Skyward! Scatter! Right. Skyward! Scatter! Seize the skies! Those monsters would hardly have pursued you with such ferocity without sufficient incentive. They were likely incited by the presence of godly remains. Said godly remains, in turn, were likely drawn to the trace of one scent on your body. One was, after all, an active participant in the Archon War. Some of the gods were likely shattered by contraptions of one's very making. In the end, one was relieved to see you endure through the night. At the break of dawn, one heard an infant's cry pierce through the air, and one saw you carefully cradle the child to your chest. Although certain mortal meant to see you happy, that was more than enough.
Oh.
Now you should have a complete understanding of the events.
Wait. But if that's true, then the crane who took care of me when I was sick must also be...
Ah, one had almost neglected to recount the absurdities of that tale. Skyward! Scatter!
What? Magawa siya ng gantong lugar, no? Ang galing.
Just as Yuendai troubled one with her antics, so did you give one many a headache. Upon finding you burning with fever, one made plans to bring you back to one's abode for treatment. However, upon seeing one's form, you began to cry, refusing to get on one. When one asked you why, apparently you believed that one could not possibly be a true Adeptus, because all illuminated cranes are white from tip to toe. One had no choice but to apply powder to one's body to conceal the variegated nature of one's appearance. You became more than amenable enough when one stood before you devoid of any other color. It bears mentioning, however, that as a crane, Yuandai was nearly entirely pure white in color. Though you had never encountered her in that form, you still recognize the essence. Perhaps fate brought you two together in more ways than one. Now all has been... One owes you an apology, Yuandai. One recognized you upon your very entrance into Wanmin Restaurant. One has always viewed you as a disciple of equal standing with Ganyu and Shenhe. Indeed, one wished to bring your story to a satisfactory end with this visit to Liyue Harbor.
Pinapractice ko yung timing paano siya gamitin. Sino si Cloud Retainer?
Still, one could not reveal your identity right away. Had
Kailangan
one
niya pala ng
simply
ER,
informed
no?
you of all you had lost,
Si sa
all
burst
those
yung
cherished
ano niya eh.
memories would merely have become the
Sa burst yung
fictionalized
buff niya eh.
account of another. Memories are most meaningful when recalled by those who lived through them. Would you not agree? Even if the process was
May
painful
gaming
and
ka ba? Try mo
arduous
si
to
gaming, malakas si gaming.
experience.
O kaya Xiao, may Xiao ka ba?
Have you any further inquiries?
Master, I must ask. If you found me all those years ago, why did you leave me be, even though you knew about my mistake? Why did you not—
One has never regarded your action as a mistake. It was a simple choice, nothing more. When it is time for one's progeny to leave the nest, it is the responsibility of an elder to let them fly free. Yet, when your wings grow weary and the night grows dark, just know that you always have a place to which to return. 'Tis a refuge referred to by many a name in mortal writing. Home, nest, haven. Whatever its denomination may be, its essence remains One speaks, of course, of a place not unlike one's own abode. One's disciples are free to come and go as they wish, yet the door remains forever open to those who wish to return. One rather hopes you count yourself among them.
Thank you.
One expects you too have sensed the rapid deterioration of your condition as of late. Have you not? 40 years ago, you chose a path without a future. Though one used one's own blood to provide you with a few decades of extra time, it merely delayed the inevitable. One may have extended the path, yet one was unable to alter its final destination. Even the power of an Adeptus has its limits. Had your condition continued to deteriorate, you would have forgotten your life as a human entirely. In the end, you would have turned into a creature lacking in the ability to even comprehend its own monstrousness. Fortunately, you were able to avoid that scenario by reclaiming your memories. Though one sped the process along by providing some guidance, the result is entirely a reflection of your own efforts.
So, what's gonna happen to...
One will help her reclaim her original form as a wild crane. If it be fated, she may recover her sentience one day.
She's gotta go back to being a regular crane, huh?
Master, You've already done more than enough for me. I don't know how I could possibly repay your kindness. This is a better result than I could have.
Granny, please don't leave, okay? You're all I have left.
Don't be sad, dear child. Granny has led a wonderful life. Don't forget to eat well, okay? A growing young lady like yourself needs lots of good food to grow big and strong. Promise Granny you'll take good care of yourself when I'm gone.
I promise, Granny.
Good girl. Good girl. Don't worry. It's not goodbye forever. Granny's gonna become the most formidable crane in all of Mount Outsung. Granny will train day and night. I won't stop until I can turn into a human without having to rely on anything but my own power. When that day comes, we'll be able to live together. That's a good girl. Even though we won't see each other for a little while, as long as we both work hard, we're sure to meet again someday.
I'll eat well, Granny. I promise. And I'll wait for you, no matter how long it takes. I'll wait for you to come back.
That's a good girl. Then Granny really has no more regrets. I'm so sorry, Master. Thank you for everything.
Shiryu.
Let her be. At her age, crying is a natural, if not fitting, response. Tears are a necessary part of maturation. Sometimes there is scarcely a better vehicle to wash away the toll of stress and misery. Now that the issue has been resolved, you should also take a moment to relax. Give yourself some time to rest. Take a nap if you must. One will wake you in due time.
Buti pa si Elite happy ang Valentine's. Ay, sana all po happy ang lahat. Wish ko sa Valentine's happy ang lahat, Char. Record lang natin to. Grabe naman kaya pinatulog dyan sa sahig yung bata. It's just a dream, Char.
I always believed we would see each other again, that our days of separation would finally end, and all my troubles would be behind me. If only things could stay this way forever.
Huwag ka iyak.
A nightmare? Curious. If you're relaxed, shouldn't your dreams be pleasant?
It is pleasant.
It was a good dream. It's just...
You weren't ready to wake up. Eloquent as one may be, words of comfort are not one's strong suit. You are doing all you can. One can see your strength of will, your fearlessness in the face of danger. And so, whatever your dream may be, one believes that you shall achieve it. Of course, whenever the perils you face overwhelm you, or you become weary, one is always here for you. After all, as an elder, it is only right to look out for the young ones.
Grilled chicken drumsticks. Huh? Was Paimon sleeping just now? Oh. Oh, Paimon wasn't talking to you. Paimon had a dream about eating grilled chicken drumsticks. That...
Madam...
Oh, Shuyu, you're awake. How do you...
I feel... a little better. Thanks. I know I'll see Granny again someday, so I don't feel so sad anymore. Madam Adeptus, could I ask you
Ay.
something?
Yes.
Would you take me in as a disciple?
Magiging white na rin yung buhok niya.
Oh. And have you reasons for this sudden interest?
I know Granny thought what she did back then was wrong. She felt really bad about it, but without that mistake, I would have never been born. Even though Granny lost her memories, she never forgot to show me how much she loved me. So, I thought maybe one day
Wala na rin naman siya kasama sa buhay eh.
I could become a cool adeptus like you and help a whole bunch of people, just like Granny wanted to do.
Upon some reflection, one supposes you are no mere mortal. The fact that Yuendai's blood flows through your veins is proof enough of that. If this is what you desire...
Thank you so much, Madam Adeptus. No, I mean... Master.
Shuyu, are you... Paimon's gonna let you in on a little secret. You and Cloud Retainer's two other disciples, and they pretty much eat nothing but bitter herbs like chin-chin and violet grass. If you join them, you'll never enjoy One Min Restaurant's delicious cooking ever again.
How utterly preposterous. One has never enforced such a rule. Every individual must find their own path to enlightenment. So long as one retains a pureness of spirit, one's dietary proclivities are quite irrelevant.
Well, you say that, but Paimon's not seeing any tasty treats up here now, is she?
Although Mount Outsong is rich in natural beauty, its location does preclude access to certain finer mortal comfort. That is precisely why one plans to relocate to Liyue Harbor.
Oh.
Shuyu shall have the honor of becoming one's first disciple in the human world.
Awesome.
Whoa, you're leaving Mount Outsong?
One has never concerned oneself with the location of one's residence. From the very beginning, one has sought only solace and peace. Yet in the end, all of one's disciples ended up in Liyue Harbor. Ganyu, Shenhe, Yuandai, they all chose a life among the mortal world. One has reflected on this fact for many years now. One can only assume that it is due to some failing on one's part as an elder or master. A failing, perhaps, of recognizing what it was they truly wanted.
What's this? Hmm.
One is most curious as to what aspect of Liyue Harbor could have enticed them to remain there. One could hardly offer an opinion on the matter, but perhaps sometime in the harbor. Why are you all so silent?
Paimon is, just a bit shocked, that's all.
One has precious little time to squander. However, if one finds oneself otherwise unoccupied, one will be assuming the identity of a human while residing in Liyue Harbor. You should take care to avoid disclosing one's true identity.
Don't worry, we'll help you keep it a secret. So, when can we
Perhaps in 2 days' time. One has some matters to see to before one's departure. Preparation is the key to success, after all. One plans to put up various items from one's collection for sale. The earnings should provide for a comfortable living in Liyue Harbor. One has already picked out a handsome property near Chuhu Rock. 'Tis no small purchase, but what is mortal life if not one expense after another?
Seems like you've really thought of everything. How about we meet up in Liyue?
A sensible plan. Oh, also, why don't you take this suspense insomnia mechanism as a souvenir? Anytime you should feel ill at ease in the future, you may try quieting your mind and sitting.
Awesome! Thanks! Hey, didn't we promise Shincho that we'd tell him what we found out? Should we make a trip to the Feiyun Commerce Guild? It's totally up to you. By the way, Shuyu, we have a friend who helped us learn a lot of information about your granny. Is it okay if we tell him the full
Sure. I don't think Granny would mind. As long as you don't... I don't think she'd want too many people to know. They might go to Mount Outsong and start bugging her about it. Granny needs to focus on her training, you know? But telling a friend or two is probably fine.
No worries, our friend can... So, about your move to Liyue Harbor, you gonna tell the other Adepti about it?
I have left an explanatory note in my abode. Those 2 old fossils will
Two old
discover it, I'm
fossils.
sure, should they come seeking my company. Considering their recent penchant for going off on private escapades, however, I find myself caring little for how they shall receive this.
In 2 days later. Oh, saan kayo? Hindi pa natin matatapos, so babay muna tayo mga guys nests. We'll go somewhere else. Bye-bye po. Thank you sa lahat ng tumambay. Charis. Walang tumambay. Bye-bye guys nests.